Hello, my friends. This is Balaura, and you're here um, on my channel because you are prepared today to listen to a new um, interpretation and story. I'm telling about two of the songs from the album "What Happened to the Heart." Um, As you already know, we have to say on this album there are several songs who are linked together. And The Echo of My Shadow and um, Invisible Wounds are the alpha and omega of this album. So it's the beginning and the end. And also, Aurora said she has recorded both of them, not recorded, but composed both of them in the same time in a place which was safe. So it was in her living room. And also, she said in one of the interviews that this was something she needed to do in order to know that everyone listening to her album has enough light and enough energy to be able to follow the entire album. So she thought this two need to be strong in order to give some hope for the stories which are quite sad, and not only sad, but some of them are horrific stories she's telling in this album. And also, I have prepared for you not the visualizer from the album because she already had some live versions of both of these songs. Because I liked very much one recording, one of the Warriors has been done in London on a couple of days after the launch of her album on Prism, is the second show of the night, and it was has a very good sound, and all of us love live versions of Aurora. So we will follow the lyrics and we'll do the interpretation by using But of course, it's not over. Okay, so let's enter direct into it. It's a very beautiful version of the song. I hope you have enjoyed. If you didn't, looked at this version several times, like I did. But let's see what is the interpretation I'm finding in her lyrics. So she said, if I stay here any longer, I will stay here forever, and the echo of my world will fade. So if you remember in the interpretation of of the blade and my body is not mine, I have told you that Aurora is introducing in the scenarios several characters, and she is doing this as well here as well. Also in The Echo of My Shadow and Invisible Wounds. And this is the story of the death, because we are on the battlefield and we are following closely all the wonderful souls who have died, and she will continue the story of the soul in my blood. But here we have other three characters. One character is the soul, the soul of the person who has recently died on the battlefield. When I'm saying battlefield, it's not necessarily a war, but it was a violent death. And Aurora is telling the story of violence and blood throughout her album. You already know that she's telling the story of the people in the war zone in Palestine, in Ukraine, and in other regions of the world. And of course, it's not only the external war, it's also the internal war we all are carrying with us. And so we have the character, we have the soul asking herself or himself, if I'm stay here any longer, I will stay here forever, and the echo of my world will fade. So usually immediately after the death, they say the soul is wandering around until it's going towards the light. And so it's still wandering around the world in which has lived. So it's between the worlds, it's not very clear what has to be done. And also the idea of staying here forever in the world in which I have just gone. So the question is, I will stay here forever until the echo of my world will fade, because she's telling about the shadow later. We'll go there. Um, and also is the sorrow, which is very high because we just departed from a world in which we have lived for a couple of years, for decades maybe. And it's a world with whom we have been it's a sorrow to leave behind all the people who loved us and everyone who knew us. And so the question is, if this sorrow, the age of the sorrow will be gone in the morning. So if the morning, because it's still, the reference is still to the day and night and morning and afternoon. And we hope that this pain we have, that we have left this world, will be gone later. Aurora was saying in several places and during several interviews, she is preparing an album to be listened after she will be gone, and that she has prepared pieces of her soul put into her music, and this album is something she's offering to the people who loved her and followed her after she is not going to be with us anymore. And then we have in the second verse we have Aurora as the powerful and the powerful entity, which is omniscient, omnipotent, beyond this world, and helping the souls who are not very clear what they need to do after they're dying. And she's saying, stay right here, stay in the light, my dear, until the love you crave falls in your arms. That could be a little bit confusing, because usually when we talk about love, people are saying they are pursuing love, they are trying to find love, and that's the reason this saying of her that stay in the light until the love falls in your arms. Because also she says in this verse and later on the fourth one, I know your mind moves like the rain sometimes. And in the fourth verse, she says, I know your mind moves like a wave sometimes. But if you can't rise for us, do it for love. And she's not talking about the love, romantic love we have in a couple, or she's not talking about normal human earthly love. She says that it's about the love you crave. This love which you crave is introducing actually all the concepts we will find later in the album, like in starvation. So she's saying that our soul is craving, is starving after this love we don't get and we don't have, because we know we need more deep type of love, and that's the reason um, our mind is all all the time moving like the rain, moving like a wave. So she said, just stay right here, don't move, don't think, just be. So it's a very deep concept of that the love appears in our souls in the moment in which we are able to stop our mind from moving all the time. And that's the moment in which the love we crave falls in our arms. So she is this entity guiding the soul towards the only thing which can be done. Uh, well, it could be done also during our life. It's not necessarily to die to have this light and to have this love. But she is also questioning this in starvation, saying that why do we touch the knife when we want to feel alive? So unfortunately, few people are not craving after this love. And also, few people have this type of love during their life. So she said, we need to die, in order to feel this love and to feel and to feed our souls. And then she's guiding also the soul towards the unity with the universe. We have this very beautiful verse. If my life is just a moment and this world is ancient, then the light through my window will fade. Young mountains, old rivers, I let them become me right now. Usually, the type of light we are seeing is through the window of our bodies. So our eyes are our windows, and when we die, we are closing these windows, we are closing the eyes. So this light, the physical light, is fading because we are closing the eyes when we die. So she said, if my life is just a moment, then this light will fade because the other light will come, right? The light which is not physical, not from the physical sun. It's a light beyond this world. And because this world is ancient and we become one with this nature and the mountains, which are young, and old rivers. These are many symbols here. We'll not dive in all this symbolistic right now because we don't want to have a very long reactions, obviously. But she is only at the end saying, till the echo of my shadow is gone. You remember that at the beginning she said the echo of my world will fade, because that's still we hear the sounds and the lights of the world we just departed. But now, when the echo of my shadow is gone, uh, actually that's the shadow is in itself something untouchable. You can't touch your shadow, and also the shadow is something which is not touching anything, and of course has no echo. So of course it's an echo of my soul passing through this world. So I'm not even a shadow, and also I'm not leaving any echo. What are the echoes of our shadows? The echoes of our shadows are the ones who love us and believe in us. And that's the reason at the end of this song she's saying, there are heroes within us and lovers around us, and they will be here forever, I know. So even if when we will pass and nothing will be remaining after we are going, still our lovers will remember us, and they will be our echo. And what she's saying about the heroes within us, she is saying a very beautiful message, that our death was not in vain. So even if we are on the battlefield and we have died a violent death, we have died because we have been killed. We have died because someone else took our life. This life was not in vain, and even maybe it seems like a useless death, but we have died as heroes. So these heroes, which are within us, is the essence. This is the essence which she is talking about, but in a pure, beautiful song. We will talk about with another occasion about the essence. But this essence is the one making all of us heroes.
I squeezed into a small hole through the eyes of needles to stitch you up again. Even though I never saw it, I can't fix anything. I look for blood to shed, mistaking every vein for a thread, spreading out too thin as I'm lying in
This was Invisible Wounds, and now we'll we'll try to see why is Aurora crying every time when she is singing this song. Of course, we don't know, but as you know, I'm telling my story, and all the warriors and weirdo have their own stories. So of course, I would say the story resonating with me, and all the scenarios are as valid as the others. And I'm sure that you have your own stories of this song, but the way I interpret it is also we are in the last moment of a dying person, and not necessarily Aurora, but she can tell her story as well. And probably that's the reason when she's throughout all the other stories of the album and in the other albums as well, she is very emotional. She is telling the story with all her heart. But here, you need to be so strong and so brave to be able to live your own death and see how it is to depart from this world. And I can relate very well with this story because I was in the presence of this in these last years. And most recently, I have stayed with my mother for several months on her deathbed, and many times because she was not able to speak, I was wondering what she's trying to say and what she is able to see before going on the other world. And so that's the story of that person who is departing. And she says, I squeeze into a small hole through the eyes of needles to stitch you up again, even though I know so well I can't fix anything. Of course, this song could be also, many of you have said, that's the song of two people who just broke up in a romantic relationship, and of course that's very well can relate to this type of departure and trying to fixing the others, the most significant other in your life. And like Aurora have also said in several occasions, she said that she realized through this song that you can't help somebody else before you help yourself and heal yourself. And all these invisible wounds our heart has need to be fixed. That's the reason also in My Blood she is talking also about these needles and these holes. You need to close them with needles. And the idea behind this is that we know, we anticipate that she's not talking about somebody she has loved and she broke up with that person, but either a person who have died, either she's talking about um, a person who is dying and is speaking with her body. And what we can't fix when we depart from this world is our body. So when we go, they say, of course, we leave our body here. That's the reason in your blood she is talking about we are dust, and the blood is the one keeping us alive. And that's the reason here she said, I am squeezed in this small hole of the needle to try to stitch you up again. But she said about stitching up again her body because she is dying, and she's looking for blood to shed, mistaking every vein for thread, spreading out too thin as I'm lying in my bed, barely existing. So, on the other hand, that's this body lying in the bed, barely existing, and our soul trying to fix it, trying to keep it alive, trying to find this blood, this this like a this blood who is through our vein like a thread. And then it's so sad that she said, sometimes I see light and I fear it's only fantasy. Wouldn't be wouldn't it be tragic if there is no light in me, not any magic? So again, if you remember the echo of my shadow, where she was talking about this light, which is the real light, is not the external light of the sun, it's the light we see beyond this. This is, many are saying, this is the light before the sun was born. So it's uncreated light. And people on their deathbed see this light which is beyond their eyes. And so she's also seeing this light. So the person who is dying said, sometimes I see light and I fear it's only fantasy. So it's not clear to the people departing if the light they are seeing, it's only in their heads, it's only an image, like in their head, it's something very concrete and real. And then it's the fear that after our departure, nothing will remain. So what if beyond this body we are leaving behind us? Um, there's nothing. She said, wouldn't it be tragic if there is no light in me, not any magic? Because the soul is the one creating the magic in our bodies. It's not the body who is living. We are, the body is lived through the soul, and the light we have in us, it's not the body, is our light, and the magic we create is created by this soul. But of course, we don't know what will be after our death. And that's the reason she is questioning the future after the passing. But then it's the communication with the external world. I need you to understand and I need you to forgive me if you can. Also, the forgiveness is given to our body as well, because we have done terrible things to our body throughout our lives. Um, and sometimes we didn't treat this body as a temple. So that's the reason maybe the words she's saying is said to other people she is leaving behind after her death, or this is something she tried to make peace with her body and saying, it hurts to know I hurt you, like I know it hurts for you to know you've hurt me. Sometimes the way we are built, this body is hurting our souls because it's limited, because is sometimes not remaining young. And the question is, how do we learn to tend to these invisible wounds our homes gave us? Our homes, and 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 that's the reason, in my interpretation, this is about the dialogue between the soul and the body who is left behind when we go, because this is our the home of our soul is the body. So all these invisible wounds we have, um, they are coming sometimes from the way we are built. And she said, I can't heal you and you can't heal me. So when we are prepared to depart from this world, it's no medicine in the world that can heal us and can keep us here. So that's the time we need to depart. So even if we wanted to and how I wanted to, so it's no healing when you die, because if it would be, we would stay here forever. Um, and so she also, and I need you to stop needing me like I needed you. We both need to tend to the invisible wounds. So, in order to be able to depart from this world, we need to let go to this body, and also the body needs to let us go. So when these invisible wounds and these invisible strings we have attached to our body needs to be cut in order to be able uh, to go. I know probably it will be a very creepy interpretation of Aurora songs. And well, I'm so very sorry for that. That's how I'm seeing it. And if any of you didn't fall asleep and also is not very sad or mad, because I have this vision of these songs, but I'm convinced that there are a lot of weirdos and warriors around who will not find it very uh, upsetting. So hope to see you to another reaction, which will be uh, much, uh, much less darker to say it like that. Okay, see you next time.